And we're live again on the twitch.tv / the Asuma. Christmas is over. Oh, back to normality. No, I want Christmas to go on forever. Oh, it feels a little bit weird just coming back to all this again. Really enjoyed the time off. You know how it is. Christmas is wonderful. And I think we've probably all needed it this year more than ever, right? And it's just been a wonderful time. And now we're getting back to streaming. You know, I did a bit of recording yesterday, recorded quite a bit of an episode. And then today it's like, let's do a stream. I've been looking forward to it, don't get me wrong. I just feel like I've got to get my head back in this space again, you know. We're going to be doing something very similar to what we did in the last stream, actually. Because these things need a doing. So, down there, you can actually see just a very little gap. I'm going to make a path. And I kind of need to work on clearing that path. We're going to go from over here to over there. Come on! Oh, we can stand over the edge here. So I think we're pretty much going to go straight out and have a bridge. Go into the middle. Actually, maybe leave some space if I want to build a tower. So probably as soon as we land, we turn. And I kind of want to avoid having too many straight lines. But somehow we've got to get all the way over here. Decisions need to be made. See, I kind of pictured that path going off in that direction, but it's straight into the bamboo. Yikes. So it's actually probably going to have a junction like right there. Go over to that tree. Again, pretty close to the bamboo forest. Turn about here. Probably get away with this and then turn again. There's just bamboo forest everywhere. Yeah, maybe what we'll do is just go over this space here. And turn off in this direction. So we're then behind the that bit that I just described. And we'll go in this direction. For a ways. Maybe this can be one big straight line here. And then at some point we turn left to the river. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a lot of work. But a straight line here is probably going to work for the most part. Maybe we turn left. And there's the tower. Yeah, we'll figure it out. But I think I can see where we need to start and where it'll be obvious what to do. Let's see, where's the sun in the sky? It's kind of good to get going straight away, and I got noises in the ear dropping at the moment. So let's leave it. Let's read all of those in a little while. There's plenty of room to do what I want to do here. So what I'm going to do is bring on the old camera account. It's actually already in the right area, I believe. Gonna slap it out of view for the replay. Cool, so we're doing a replay mod thing here. And we're gonna carve out the path. It's gonna be 5 wide, right? And we're just gonna go for it. So I'm gonna be reading chat, then we'll be reading noises in the air after we've done our first little bit of construction here. Or should I say, destruction. Oh, Alex! Oh, you're so smart, destruction, because you're not building, you're taking things down. Oh, said no one. Said no one ever. I think we're going to go right up to this tree here. This tree here is going to be like the turning point, if you like. Got to make sure we keep it 5 wide, so the cyan is going to come as far as this. This tree we will actually leave here for now, and we'll do maybe do a bendy with it and have it sort of stay where it is. Oh, raid! Jace, we just started and we're getting raided! Pearlescent Moon, thank you ever so much for the raid. Appreciate it. I have just fired up my first stream after Christmas, right? It feels so different. It feels so weird. I want to be, you know, in Christmas forever. Oh, with things the way they are in the world right now, it just feels like that was everything I needed. But welcome all the raiders. We are currently making a little bit of a time lapse, so I'm focusing on what I'm doing in front of me. Then I'm going to be reading the noises in my ear. I am reading chat right now, though. Let's see how people enjoyed. We got Python GB in chat as well. Awesome, dude. I did have a good Christmas. I did have a good Christmas. Also, I replied to your tweet, but I haven't been back on Twitter since. Oh, that kind of reminds me of some lessons learned. I don't know. I've been going through... Okay, here I am. I'm going to waffle now. I'm going to waffle. That reminds me that my audio recording isn't on. I'm going to waffle. Okay, so I've had these thoughts roaming through my head, and now they've all just been sparked off. So, in life, you know, you go through, like, changes. Sometimes it's, like, externalities that just mean, you know, things are different. New people, new friends, whatever. And sometimes it's, like, internal. And, you know, lately where I discovered guitar again through the lens of just enjoying it and just, like, not thinking I have to gear my guitar playing towards some sort of success, has made it really fun. And then over this Christmas period, I've really had this, like, feeling of, like, trying to stay in the moment. I barely, like, looked at my phone. I didn't check social media. I probably spent a little bit too much time playing games on the laptop, but, I just really enjoyed doing different things all of a sudden, and it's just like being in the moment. So yesterday, when I came back to the computer and was working on an episode of Hermitcraft, I just had this like refined focus and lack of distraction because I wasn't thinking about social media. And today it didn't work out quite the same way because I ended up on Twitter doing a bit of this and a bit of that and getting distracted. And I've just realised that like what I tend to do is I get focused on productivity. And that also creates a natural tendency to procrastinate to some extent. And I do probably a little bit too much multitasking that doesn't really make sense. And so over this period, you know, having this kind of break from that normality, staying a bit more in the moment, then yesterday I just really enjoyed everything I was doing because I wasn't getting distracted. It was like, hey, I need to do Hermitcraft, bam, we're doing Hermitcraft. Hey, I need to do this thing, bam, we're doing that. And just kind of focusing on it. So, I don't know, you know, like... I'm always trying to reflect on what I'm doing and make things better. And so I feel like moving forward from this, I kind of need to keep my head more in the space of this is what I'm doing right now and just stay focused on it and then enjoying what those things are. Less of this kind of like opening up Twitter, getting distracted. I do it. I know I need to stay focused, but it happens unfortunately. Anyway, this is pretty much the extent of my first little bit of time-lapsing I've just realised. I kind of wish that maybe I'd have built a bit of the path as well. I think what I'm going to do is use the wood that I've picked up here to wiggle this tree over. We're going to have its root just about here. And then we'll have it go doop-de-doop. Anyway, that was a long-winded waffle. Just making changes, you know, trying to make better practices. I also got a lot of like walking in and exercise, which I was pleased with over Christmas because I knew I was eating more. I weighed myself before Christmas, and after Christmas I put on... Now, in the UK we use a measurement called stones, and it breaks down into like 2 subsections, but I don't know what they're called. So I put on 1.5 like subsection of stone. And that is less than I had cut the whole of December, so I'm really happy. That's great. 14 pounds in a stone. Yeah, so 1/14 of a stone plus a half, which I'm pretty good with. I had some really big meals and I enjoyed them. First night of Christmas, didn't even have any chocolatey treats or snacks. Just kind of remembered how they make you feel like a bit sickly, all that sugar and especially when you go to sleep, then you got that kind of like bloated belly with all the sugar as well. So I was really pleased that I didn't do that. Second day I had quite a few sweets, but overall I think I got it. I think I got it pretty right. Maybe a little bit excessive here and there, but that's kind of Christmas for you, right? And as always, trying to like keep a good relationship with food, enjoy it, but like not binge on it or anything like that. I think it works out pretty well. So I'm happy. And I'm always trying to improve. Just use the metric system, says Maddie. Yeah, I could do. I don't know why I don't. I just sort of end up always focused on stones, just because it's kind of like what I know. Okay, right. It's time to address some noises in the ear. Going to sort out my replay mod quickly. So this one is going to be called Half Part 1. There we go. I love that the replay mod lets you pick a name after you've recorded. So we'll head over in this direction and get supplied up for pretty much doing the same thing again, actually, but I need to add some dirt is what I need to add. Wow, there are so many noises in the air right now. I look over and I'm like, this is going to take me a moment. Thank you, everyone, for your tremendous support. Appreciate it. You know, are there any of these that are like slightly not as full? Here we go. This has got some of the materials I need, so I should probably take this one with me at some point. Actually, I think what I'll do is grab all of that and put it into something new. Okay, so we need these things. Maybe not those right away. In fact, those can go into here. There's probably some cyan terracotta lying around. So while I remember, I'm shifting over some materials. Then we're gonna get some dirt together. Quite a bit of dirt, actually. Come on. Should be some cyan terracotta somewhere in here. I know it. Because I was building with it just yesterday. It's always in the last one you look, isn't it? That's because you don't keep looking. Grey concrete? No. Well, ah, there it is. There's loads of it. You know, I'm probably going to need all of that. Or as much as I can fit right now. There we go. Excellent. Right, I think we're good to do the next bit. So it's time for those noises in the air. I got to go scroll them all back because there's so many of them. 76 History Lover says, what are some of your favourite holiday traditions? That's something we're going to have to come back to. That's something we're going to have to come back to right there. Okay, I've got to scroll back. Goodness me, there's so much. So much. Thank you, everyone. We got Mickle Stickle here for 49 months. Thank you ever so much. Appreciate it. Do I celebrate New Year's? I do not. I do not like celebrating the passage of time. I don't make a big deal about my birthday. Don't like New Year's. I just kind of like each day to just be its own thing. I don't know. It's hard to describe. Toko and Clank is here gifting a sub to Wilco. Thank you so much for the gifted sub. We got X Nahala HP here for 8 months. Ban Feartar here for 2. Sumin Shizin here for 6 months. We got Simple Bowl here for 6 as well. A1R Bladder here for a donation. Thank you ever so much. We need to hear the story of you starving a few days ago. What was that? Starving a few days ago. I feel like you're referring to something that I couldn't have possibly talked about yet. But thank you for the donation. We'll come back to that. Mashkin Dratson is here for 4 months. We got Nazatizer here for 2. KCT 0505 at the Prime. Visor Prime with the Prime. Rebecca gifting a sub to Sir Dono. Thank you ever so much for that gifted sub. We had Pearl with the raid, of course. Welcome all the raiders. You were AFK. Oh, yes. Yes, it happens. So basically, you'll have probably seen it on some live streams. Every now and then, the inventory gets desynced from the server, and if I've got food in my offhand, it doesn't think I've got it in my offhand, and therefore, even though I'm eating, the server doesn't register it. It's really irritating. Toguro Joe's here for 26 months. Says time's flying even through this tough year. Yeah, it has flown by in a weird way, hasn't it? Kind of feels like it's not the best way for time to fly by, though. Smells Blue, MVS here for 6 months. Immy, 160 here for 9 months. Dream, Do, EXE, here with the Prime. We got Brissinger Wolfie, gifting a sub to Out Enact 07. Thank you so much for that gifted sub. We got Midnight 77 here for 4 months. Seb Eats Seaweed. It's actually Eb Eats Weed. Seb. Oh, jeez, I butchered it. 4 months. I wanted to let you know that I got a Pembroke Welsh Corgi puppy on Christmas Eve. Wow. His name is Winston. He's 9 weeks old. Winston is my little burnt loaf of bread. Lovely. Remember, as they always say, a puppy is not just for Christmas. You look after that little fella. Batchlot, thank you for 4 months. Termin Attacker has subscribed. Argyle, I think it's Argyle MC is here with the Prime. We got Oganos here for 10 months. Scorpy Love for 7. Red Steel Eagle here with the cheers and bits. Lunchbox 1981 here with the Prime. John Boy. 166 here for 4 months. Soldier76320 here with a Prime. Sleepy Peanut is here for 37 months. We had a Merry Christmas indeed. Thank you so much, dude. Hope you had a good one too. JohnBoy166 is gifting subs to Loki Loke9, Sevs Sun Valano, Peyton759, Virgo Stella, I'm a Potato 6969. Thank you for gifting those subs and supporting our community. Peeps, these noises, I can't keep up. There's just so many. We got Sharu Manaru here for 14 months. Dr. Joni here with some cheers and bits saying Merry Xmas from Denmark. Glad to see you here again. Glad to have you with us, dude. Thank you for the cheers and bits. Anna Bomb Banana is here for 8 months in a row. We got So Woggy here with a Prime. Noxter82 subscribing. Yellow Harold here for 57 months. Any travel plans when it becomes safe again? Yeah, by the time it becomes safe again, I will probably considering doing a fair bit of a fair bit of traveling, and potentially meaning slowing things down on Twitch and YouTube big time. Like, this has all made me think, like, you know, the time to do stuff, you never know when it's out of your control. So, yeah, there will be traveling. Pure Spider 7 with the Prime. Vololokin here for 2 months. Fallon XI has subscribed. D-Shark1 with the Prime. Robbie Ayan 97. We got Poe 8D here for 7 months. Rebecca gifting a sub to Jimmy Pup for 10. Thank you so much. Peeps, I'm not even close yet. Imo Petridar here with the Prime. Zulu West 12 here for 2 months. We got Tree, the one and only. 56 months even. Thank you ever so much. Rebecca with another gifted sub to Hermit Fan 153. Borgil 96 is here for 9 months. Del Winzig is here with the Prime. Ruben with Fries here for 6 months. Nigel Barban Feralsis with the Prime. And Funky Coaster for 34 months. My goodness me. Thank you ever so much, everyone, for your tremendous support. That is incredible. Bossman 101 here for 6 months. When you subscribe and then you get an ad. Yeah, unfortunately, dude, I can't turn them off here on Twitch. If I could, I would. You know, if I could, I would. Where's that sun in the sky? It's probably going to sleep when we don't want it to, right? That's probably what's going to happen. So, we're going to lay down a path and then go through the next area. And Mumbo has left the game. Goodness me. Let's do a little bit of a check again, because I think I'm going to turn probably somewhere around here. Yeah, I don't think we need to really think about it too much. Let's just crack on with this. We got MW448 with the Prime, and Rebecca is gifted a sub to Python GB for 21 months. Thank you so much, Python, for tuning in today. Thank you, Rebecca, for gifting those subs. Incredible over here. Incredible. Right. Got to get that camera account on. What were the things we were supposed to talk about? I've forgotten, peeps. If you want me to waffle, I'm going to talk about Mary Poppins, of all things. Oh. X, what do you think about procrastinating, and how would you avoid procrastinating? Well, you got to know when you're doing it, and then you got to wise up and be like, right, putting my foot down. No more of this nonsense. I mean, it's an attention thing. You got to be able to figure out when you're procrastinating, right? And then have the discipline not to do it. I know when I'm procrastinating. I just kind of realised I sort of do it in ways that I don't really keep a check on. So yeah, after like yesterday's level of productivity and just, you know, not just productivity, but just being like in the moment and enjoying what I was doing, not thinking about other stuff, not distracting myself. I just feel like that's what I need to like get a hold of and stick with, essentially. By the way, all of this area is eventually going to become like no water. It's going to become no water. That makes so much sense. What about Pomodoro? No idea what that is. Is listening to music all day procrastinating, says Rebecca. Well, not if you have a brain like I have. When I listen to music, my brain is able to focus on other stuff more. And it's, I don't know, it's just like I have a subroutine. I'm Data from Star Trek. I got a subroutine for music. It just works. It stops my mind from drifting to other things, and I just yeah, I tend to just do better if I've got music on. most of the time, you know. If I put videos on or something, I tend to get a little bit more distracty. What do you think about the KFC gaming console? Say what? What do I think about Johnson's Brexit deal? Not a clue. Don't know anything about it, really. Interacting with art, music, of course, indeed, can be a great investment of your future and productivity and inspiration, says Lupinelli. Yeah, that's one of the things I feel like. When you stay in those places of, like, creativeness and inspiration and happiness, it makes other stuff easier. Like, I tend to do better in Minecraft when I'm inspired by other stuff elsewhere. So it's like, it's about keeping all those things you're inspired by and interested by sort of together, sort of able to feed one another. Which is what I want to do with my music. Like, still working on getting my new setup put together so I can just kind of knuckle down and make some music. But man, every time I fire up some of my old music projects or just doodle for a little while or play the guitar, it just gets me inspired. And inspired for anything, creativity, really. A few more people are commenting about KFC gaming console. Or maybe not. I don't know. I saw a couple there. X, since you talked about it, what tips would you give for losing weight? I tell you what, there's some great videos on my Asuma Says channel about that. I talk about it a lot on my streams. I'll answer, though, now I remember what one of those comments was about earlier. Someone said something about starving myself. So, I haven't been starving myself. I still eat a lot of food. I've just been cutting calories leading up to Christmas because I knew I was going to eat a lot. And so I thought, why don't I lose the weight now? And then I won't feel as guilty about it. And I feel great for doing that, actually. It was a good decision for me. Funny, though, like, the last couple of days, though, I could really feel it. I could really feel like this has been, you know, 6 days in a row of straight up cutting and then like 1 day of like leveling out. And then on the very last day I was all like, yeah, this is getting rough. Okay, I've got to sleep in a bed right about now. I was starting to think it's getting a bit on the rough side. You know, when you do this, you do need to have a few days to balance it out. And anyway, you know, Christmas Eve morning, I had a run. I then walked across town to go to my parents for Christmas, and when I got there, like, I had this thing in my mind of like, right, don't start eating yet, like, it's not, you know, wait until later when we have our first meal. And my mum was like, oh, do you want a cup of tea in a Christmas bar? And I went, yeah, go on then. And I just went straight into eating, and I was like, oh, I needed this so much. I needed a proper bite of food. Felt great after that. Asuma, I find a good lunch is lots of fruit mixed with plain Greek yogurt, like 1 to 5 fruit for 1 yogurt ratio, says Proudly Family. Yeah, one of the things I usually have is like a bit of a dessert or something around a meal. There's some yogurt and fruit, that's always great. And I got me some natural yogurt. I had so many of my favourite meals over Christmas though. Or snacks or whatever, like waffles with some alglaive and Greek yogurt, and then waffles with peanut butter and jam. Oh, so good, so good. Why do I not have a shovel? Because I'm breaking a lot of these. To be fair, like, we don't break a lot of this in a way where we need it. So I feel like I might have lost sight of where we're going to turn left. We have a bit of a hill to climb, I believe. Yeah, it might be better just to avoid this big tree. So let's come forward to about somewhere around here-ish, actually. And that feels like quite a ways from where we were a moment ago. Aha! So we should be pretty good to just continue straight, and then it'll kind of like make sense as we get there. Right, there are so many questions in chat right now. I appreciate that. That's what I want to see when I look over at chat. I want to see some questions. Let's have a discussion. But I think next I'm going to talk about Mary Poppins, right? So, you know, everyone's probably seen Mary Poppins, and if you haven't, it's a classic. Of course it's a classic, but you know, at some point in time I get ideas in my head like, oh, I don't like this stuff, or that's not for me, or whatever, right? So going through my more youthful listening to metal and hip-hop kind of like, you know, period in life or whatever, things like Mary Poppins would have been rather unappealing. You know, oh, that's just, you know, lame or whatever I probably would have thought. And so I've not actually seen Mary Poppins since I was like probably younger than a teen, like probably like pre-teen. And yeah, time-lapse concentrate X, don't waffle. That's how we do it. The waffling is just what happens while I make a time-lapse. So I haven't, you know, really seen Mary Poppins since I was a kid, basically. And it just kind of occurred to me that I want to watch it again, because we watched a bunch of movies, right? We watched About a Boy, which has always been one of my favourite movies. It's got Hugh Grant in it. It's just a wonderfully funny and charming movie with like a real warm message and great characters and a really nice character arc. Highly recommend that for anyone who wants a bit of a wholesome movie that's got some great humour and whatnot. About a Boy with Hugh Grant, fantastic. Then after that we watched, what was it, Home Alone 2, and oh my goodness me, that movie is like really not good. The first one's a classic, the second one is just like sort of spitting out the same slapstick comedy jokes, and I don't know, I didn't think much of it, right? And then after that we watched this movie called Saving Mr. Banks, which was really great. It was about Mary Poppins, the author actually, sorry, not Mary Poppins, but the author, and how, you know, how it came to be that they made the movie, because they were chasing it for ages. Walt Disney wanted that movie for a long time, and you know, Disney come under a lot of criticism for how they changed stuff when Walt Disney was like getting all these classic kids fairy tales and kind of like, I don't know how you describe it, but like washing them clean and taking out like the harshness of the stories, and yeah. So she didn't want him to make his movie for a long time, and the movie's great, the movie's fantastic. But it got me thinking like, man, yeah, I remember this, you know, all the songs and stuff that they reference, and I was like, they talk about the penguins being animated, and I was like, oh yeah, and it all started coming back to me. And so the next day we watched it, and we watched it on Disney Plus, which we had access to, and I gotta say, like, the restoration is really like sketchy in places. It's got like a upscaled feel to it. But man, some of the scenes, like the image quality is so speckly. You've only seen Home Alone 3. Oh, dude, you got to see Home Alone. Got to watch the original. But yeah, the image quality was really speckly in places, which is one of those things you see happen on older movies that get upscaled, but like in a kind of lazy way. It was like, surely Disney would have had like a really good team remaster this. But no, it was like pretty poor looking. Anyway, you know, it didn't stop me from enjoying the movie, which I enjoyed a heck of a lot. Just, it's absolutely fantastic. I loved it. And now we're gonna watch Bedknobs and Broomsticks next, which is another one that I remember from my childhood, like a Disney movie, and yeah, just gonna have a bit more fun over this holiday season watching some oldies or whatever you want to call them, right? 4, 5, so that's like kind of the edge. So we're going through this space. We're going to leave that tree there for now, I think. And yeah, let's keep on keeping on. It's going to be tricky to edit this replay mod, because it's just so kind of like through the thick of it, but we'll figure it out and do what we can. So that's the 5 wide bit here. And we'll come over to this space and just keep it going. Anyway, I just wanted to get off my chest, you know, like rediscovering stuff from... You know, I bet there's a lot of stuff from like childhood that you can go back and watch and actually ain't that great. Like I used to watch Kenan and Kel when I was a kid on Nickelodeon, and I've done the whole YouTube thing. Oh no, I've come in way too early. I've come in way too early over here. Dang. Okay, well I'm going to cut this one short on my replay mod. I have no idea what I called the first one, so we'll call it Path to Cut Short. Yeah, totally goofed that up. Orange soda, says Drake. Orange soda, exactly. Exactly that. Okay, I think this time what we'll do is we'll get a little bit more of an idea of where we're going first. And then we'll start time-lapsing after that. So, we know we're going to come straight out of there, across here, and I'm kind of in line with it. So, if I make a little marker for myself, just here, we're kind of going through this area, and then at some point we want to turn left. And, you know, you do kind of want... I'm going to have to get my shovel out at some point. So maybe about here we turn left. But you can see, look, there's this big hill that I kind of want to avoid. And it's actually, I think it's where the big tree was that I said let's go around that. That was actually a bit of a mistake. Actually, no, it's this side of the big tree. So we can probably get away with that. Okay, so let's go back over here to the river. And we can kind of see where we're going to go. So these little dirt blocks they'll actually turn into grass like that one already has. And we'll turn just here. So 2 dirt blocks, kind of obvious. This will be nice and easy to clear here. Let's put another 2 or 3. Just trying to make it super obvious. So then we go up there. Okay. Now here's the tricky bit. We're going to use an ender pearl. I'm going to need another shulker box as well, I'm pretty sure. Right, and then we're going to go through the middle of that tree. Through the middle of that one. And so we're going to make our way upwards from about here. So all of that will actually just get put back in again. And that's fine, you know, this kind of stuff happens. Let's actually make this a little more obvious. We'll do that and we'll put that there to kind of remind me, okay, we're going that way. So not only do we need shulker boxes, we need a shovel. And then we're good to do this last bit proper, I think. Okay, how about those noises in the ear? We have so many. So many. Cowboy, thank you for the Prime subscription. Appreciate it. We have Oscar Rambaloige here with the Prime. Alsev here for 10 months. Gap the Dragon for 31. Xbox 0789 for 5. Hal Hack Ukil here with the Prime. Striker 357 for 21 months. Navakiza here with the Prime. Okami 614. The Friendly Cat both subscribing. Bellanity for 27 months. And Exanet 1 gifting a sub to Triple Z. Thank you ever so much for the gifted sub, supporting our community. Appreciating your generosity over here. Thank you. Okay, we kind of know we don't actually need more of this dirt, which is good. Anywhere I can put the dirt, here we go. Right, now we're going to set up to do the rest. X, have you watched The Mandalorian Season 2? Funny you mention that. Thinking of getting a subscription on the Disney, because we watched Mary Poppins on it, and it's going to run out soon, and so I was thinking I might. But they seem to have a small selection of stuff to watch, so I might get it for 1 month and cancel it and just watch The Mandalorian and a few others. Not a bad plan, really. It's kind of like how I like to do things, you know? Since I pay for Netflix, you know, and Amazon Prime every month. Marilyn Miner, thank you for 57 months in a row. And Sundance Streams is here with a donation saying, thanks for putting out amazing content. I love your YouTube videos. And you and the other hermits have been keeping me going this year. Thank you ever so much for the donation, dude. Glad to hear it. I hope you continue to enjoy all what we do. And some of you in chat are saying that Soul was great. Yeah, I did a little flick through, you know, the history of Disney releases. And a lot of the animated movies I kind of knew the names of. Quite a few of them that I'd seen through the, you know, all the classics from like the 30s and 40s, Dumbo and stuff like that I'd seen. In fact, Dumbo was one of my favourites when I was a kid. I've seen all the ones through the 80s, 90s. Not so much noughties and onwards, really. But then I was trying to like figure out what live action movies are perhaps as good as... Oh, do you know what? I might need to move my camera account now that I think about it. I was trying to think what ones are as good as the likes of Mary Poppins, right? Classics like that. And Bedknobs and Broomsticks is kind of similar in a way when you think about it. And that's the one that came out after. But then just flicking through the big list, I couldn't really like picture any names that rang a bell. But I kind of wanted to do some research and find out like what other movies did they do where they mixed the live action with the animation, because that stuff's really quite magical the way they do it. I mean, the effects in Mary Poppins, like, they kind of hold up. You know, you can see how they're done, but they're just done artfully. I think that's a really important thing to do when you create like art with you know, with what's available, is like good art really stands the test of time regardless of what the effects look like. And you can see how they did a lot of the stuff in Mary Poppins. But it really stands up and holds on. And my favourite scene, okay, my favourite scene has got to be when all the nannies are lining up outside the street, and one by one, they just start flying off into the air, and I forgot how funny that part was, and it cracked me up. Oh, there we go. Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where they made it hard to tell how they do it. If that's the movie I think it is, it's not hard to tell how they do it, because it's more the practical effects in Mary Poppins, right? Like when they float up in the air, you can see how, like, you can kind of tell where the strings are, even though they've been rotoscoped out or whatever. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Oh, that is a definite one to watch again. I've seen that one many times. But yeah, the Who Framed Roger Rabbit, like, you know, I haven't seen it recently, so it's not fresh in the mind, but like, isn't it mostly just animation over the top of the live action? Like, I wouldn't imagine many of those tricks are difficult to figure out. Okay, I guess I'm not going to fill that in for now, because I put all the dirt away. But we've got to continue the 5 wide at the right spot. And get our ways through the jungle. That's going to get me a shovel. Cool World, anyone? Or how about The Mask? Was The Mask a Disney movie? Dang. I mean, they have so many. Like, Cool Runnings is a Disney movie. I didn't realise that. A lot of you asking about Soul, the new movie that came out. Yeah, I do want to watch that. One thing I noticed when I was looking through the list of Disney movies is that Pixar is kind of responsible in a way for resurrecting Disney a little bit, I think, because their catalogue starts to get weak in like the late 90s, early noughties, and Pixar kind of swoops in as its saving grace. I mean, I'm going through a lot of the movies and I'm like, yeah, these ones like aren't as well remembered as some of the early Disney movies, right? They're not classics. Hercules, for example, is not a classic. Not trying to knock it or anything, but you know, that's kind of how it's, I'm guessing, generally remembered as not being quite like some of the originals. Not as great. But yeah, but then all of a sudden the list, every time there's something great where you're like, oh yeah, that one was fantastic, Toy Story, you know, it's always Pixar. It's always just Pixar on there. It's like, oh dang, Pixar Studios coming in and saving Disney. Hercules is a classic for me. Treasure Planet is not as remembered, but I love it. Yeah, you know, like personal classics, they're probably fully capable of being. I talk about this with like music a lot, how, you know, some records kind of just hit culturally with everyone, and others not so much. And so you can have like personal classics. This is why I believe in like trying to love stuff more than find reasons to critique it. You know, if you tune in to watch a live stream, if you watch a movie, whatever it is, all of a sudden you're engaging with music, art, like try your best to love it. Like try and see what the artist wanted to share or whatever, because I don't know, critiquing and you know, if you don't enjoy something, you're the one who's not enjoying it. I think I've gone too far again, by the way. Wow, I am terrible at this. I somehow missed the bit that told me to turn the corner. Okay, just double checking we got the alignment right here. But it's all good, we'll go and repair those bits. We will repair them. yeah, it's gonna, maybe it is a bit hard to like waffle and you know, focus on two things at once. What are your thoughts about Atlantis? I've not actually seen Atlantis. Studio Ghibli, I noticed they were in the list. I didn't realise they were owned by Disney. I tried to watch a Studio Ghibli movie once and it was just a little too dull for me. Not a lot going on really. I don't know. It was, I don't even know what one it was, but I watched like half an hour of it and just turned it off. Yeah, maybe should have stuck with it. I don't know. Ghibli is not owned by Disney, says Kamari Volta. Maybe they have a publishing deal with them? I don't know. They, like, Ghibli movies were in the Disney movie release list. So they've got some sort of connection. They must do. What about Space Jam? Yeah, Space Jam's one of those movies. If you saw it when you were a kid, you're going to love it a lot more than, you know, if you see it as an adult. It's probably not that great. I haven't seen it in a long time. I'll probably enjoy watching it again because I kind of remember it. It's with MJ, right? Michael Jordan. Okay, here's where things get a little bit tricky because I'm not sure how to shape this next bit. But we're probably going to have to dig some of this down. So if we go through like this, I don't think we can do too much harm. Or maybe we could make a tunnel here, like do something a little different. Dang, that's a good idea. In fact, I'm going to go with that. Let's... God, there's so much of this that I've wrecked. Okay, and I have to come back and fix. So we can go at this height or one lower. So 65 or one lower. Let's go see what's happening over the other side. Because that might be the better way to go about this. Jeez, this is so difficult. This dense forest. By the way, I thought this bit would be really quick, and I'm now starting to think again. It's going to take a while. We'll do this. We'll go this way in. And do you know what? I don't have instant mine. I don't have instant mine. But I do have a pick, so... Spirited Away, My Neighbour, Turato, a really nice classics by Studio Ghibli. I got a feeling Spirited Away might have been the one I tried to watch. I remember there being something about a lake. And that's about it. But hey, I'm not knocking it. I tried it and I just didn't get into it. Man, so many people like listing the movies, Disney movies they like WALL-E. You know, I've seen a lot of them. We'll probably all have. Good Burger is one of my favourite childhoods, says Goth Girl. I'll tell you now, that is not a good movie. I think I saw it at the time and kind of went, eh. That's Kenan and Kel right there. I really did not, like, you have a fond nostalgic memory of something like Kenan and Kel, and when I watched it again I was like, this is not that great. Not that great. X, what is your favourite movie, says Il Queen Tinster. I have a few. I always go to movies like American Beauty, Fight Club, American History X. What's the one with... Oh my goodness me. Robin Williams. I can picture... Dead Poets Society. That's my all-time favourite movie right there. But I love... You know, The Matrix is like another classic that everyone kind of appreciates and loves. I also really like that one. But, you know, I love movies so much, I always feel like bad about saying which one's my favourite in case I forget some. But those are some that are definitely, like, if I sat down and made a list, they would definitely be in it. You're an Edward Norton fan? Yeah, I'm not one to, like, really follow actors. But there are a couple that I like. I used to really like Kevin Spacey movies. And... You know, he's now a controversial figure. And not really in the movies anymore. But Ed Norton's one who I'm like, yeah, this guy's like cropped up in a bunch of really good movies that I like. And so, you know, I've checked out a lot of his stuff. And another one was like, what's his name? Jake Gyllenhaal. He's been in so many great movies. In fact, I remember picking one. I was like, alright, new Jake Gyllenhaal movie, let's watch this. And I'm watching it, and then all of a sudden I realised that I've completely like not clocked on to who his character is, because he just disappears into the role sometimes. I love actors that do that, where you kind of forget you're watching them. Okay. And I think, like, you know, when you like enjoy something like movies, if you like it a lot or whatever, it's good to pay attention to those things. You know, pick up on what sort of actors you like, and definitely directors, which I've not done a lot of, but Christopher Nolan is one of those that I've become very aware of, and you know, anything he releases, I'll end up watching now, because I kind of, you know, seen so many of his movies and then realised, oh, you did this, you did that one, jeez, okay, gonna keep an eye on what you're up to. Did I watch The Mandalorian Season 1? I did. It was alright. It wasn't very Star Wars-y. It just felt like the aesthetic was Star Wars. And I think it was chatting about it with B-Dubs, and he kind of pointed out that the pacing of it, the way it's done, like its style, is very much like a comic book. Very kind of like slow and then focusing around particular scenes with not a lot of dialogue, which... as long as it's done well, like anything can be great, and I thought it was pretty great with The Mandalorian, but not a classic or anything like that, just a very well executed idea. The Mandalorian is very much like a 1960s travelling gunslinger. Ah, well, I've not seen those sorts of shows, but I can imagine there are probably similarities with all sorts of things like that. We got Moisty Monsoon here for 4 months. Thank you so much, Moisty Monsoon. Appreciate it. I see dirt. Yes. Yes, that means we're getting close. Oh, we are definitely getting close. The Mandalorian is made with care, unlike the sequel trilogy, says Surprise T. Depends what you mean by that. Like, depends where you're coming from. Because I know the sequel trilogy has had its, like, fair amount of criticism. You know, like, Star Wars is George Lucas. And Star Wars not done by George Lucas, sadly, often feels like, you know, fan service in a way. And, you know, obviously it's made by people who love the show and are fans of it. But so much of it just ends up becoming, like, an aesthetic thing. I think Rogue One was like the one really good movie. I haven't watched the Solo movie yet, but Rogue One was really well done. That felt like probably like the best of what they've done. But it's never going to be like the original Star Wars. Those are just going to be their own classic movies for time to come. Alright, let's get some of these leaves out of here. Get out of here, scamps. I didn't plan on making a tunnel, but a tunnel we are making. Okay, and I feel like now we've pretty much got most of what we need for our time lapse. I'm probably going to realise that I didn't log back in, right? I did log back in, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Yeah, now that the path's actually all here, I think I might go ahead and put in the cyan terracotta next. Actually, no, maybe we'll spend a bit of time tidying up some of the bits where we shouldn't have gone. Okay, so, camera count, time to log out. We'll call this one part 3 or whatever. Sweet. How do you come up with Megabase ideas? Says, hi, my name is... Yeah, you know, idea making is like remixing. You just got to think about concepts that exist and how do you put them together. The concept of my base was like, I want to build these like big extravagant towers, and then when I was thinking about how I wanted to fly from place to place, it felt right to put it in a jungle. It created this kind of harmony of like technology that works, because you've got all this like lush forestry around these giant industrial towers that are all white and clean. And then you fly from one to the next, and you put a project in each different one. It's just like a series of rules and ideas that are, you know, they don't have to be strictly followed. And we changed a few things. I was originally gonna build a lot more stuff down on the ground and have the paths have buildings next to them, but that ended up like clearly becoming a bit too much for what I wanted to or what I had the time to do, essentially. Okay, so I said I would go and fix up some of the land around here, so I guess we need these things, the bit we weren't supposed to do. X, what do you think about modern music, and what is your favourite song? I think that modern music is absolutely fine, and like, whenever you hear this whinging of like, oh, music isn't the same as it used to be, it's like, come on. Times change, that's what happens. You know, you can enjoy it, or you can yearn for the old days, because they ain't coming back, you know. Rock and roll ain't making a comeback. Things have moved on. It's just the way things go. I mean, like, there probably is an example of this happening somewhere, but can you ever name one big, broad movement in art, music, culture, where everyone reverted back to doing something from the past? I can't think of anything. I can't think of any time where, like, people just went, oh, do you know what, let's just go back to synth pop. Like, that hasn't happened. You get revival and nostalgia acts popping up here and there all the time. But you never get like a big cultural movement of like, let's go back to, you know, the way we did movies in the 90s. The Renaissance, says Red Skimmer. What? The Renaissance isn't a going back. The Renaissance is a period of like art and music and culture flourishing and new ideas being explored. Someone else says literally the Renaissance. That's not how I understood the Renaissance. The Renaissance is like a period of great, like, cultural happening. You know, like, just art and those things of that era becoming more prominent. It's probably linked to like a wealth thing as well, like a wealth threshold, because when people are all like starving and there's not a lot of food to go around, other things tend to suffer, like art. But then in this context and day and age, it probably wouldn't, because there's so much wealth, you know. Kind of hard to describe what I'm getting at. Like, the wealth has given tools, right? Like, it's easier for people to make video today than it was 20 years ago. Same for music. Same for just about everything. So now that all of that technology exists and whatnot, I guess if there was, like, you know, some sort of crazy disruptance of everything happening on Earth, maybe it would lead to some more culture and art. But the way I understood the Renaissance was more like a tipping point. The Renaissance happened because so many people died in the plague. Well, you know what, it's history, and a lot of histories have opinions baked into them, and so whatever I've learnt about it may not have been the same thing some of y'all have learned about it, I guess. Understanding the Renaissance is going back isn't quite accurate. Yes, it's inspired by classical antiquity, but it was about a new modern age of social, political renewal and enlightenment. There's Chakra Ram. Yeah, that sounds more like how I've had it explained to me, what that is supposed to be. We got a Felian here for 69 months. Nice. Also, hope you had a great, wonderful Xmas. Thank you, dude. I had a really great Xmas. Just kind of wish we had a plan to do more, you know, taking more time off, but we had a good, safe Christmas, so I'm happy. Can we go back to films? Oh, you want me to talk about films again? Jeez, I don't know. The conversation moves all over the place, right? What do you think about Mardlarks? They find older items on the River Thames. Never heard of it. What presents had I got for Christmas? Not a lot, just basics, you know. Pictures, socks, which I actually needed. I have a problem with socks and throwing them away, but I was like, I've got enough holy socks here and I'm just getting sick of them, you know. Yeah, it's more about giving at Christmas. Like, it's more like, hey, I got to give these people cool gifts or whatever, right? And to think, a minute ago we were ripping all of this out. Just the way it goes. And that is the end of that little bit. And you'd probably be able to tell if you looked at it from a particular angle that something fishy's going on here, but it's just going to have to be what it is. We got a noise in the ear from Deb Constructor for 9 months. It's a Twitch baby saying thanks for all your streams. Been a great distraction during this time. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Did you play Terra Swoop Force? I saw it came out remastered and I was like, oh, maybe I'll play that instead of Hermitcraft. But then I looked into it and I kind of realised it's actually pretty much the same map again, so I might either check it out in some spare time or just stream it at one point. I was kind of hoping there'd be like more to it in the remaster. I was hoping there'd be like a new level or something, but if there is, they haven't advertised it as such. But yeah, that was an absolute classic map, Terra Swoop Force. Really great. Played that with Rendog, I think, back in Season 4, if I'm guessing, making an educated guess. That was probably when we did it. Sumer, I have a question. Just now Mr. Beast did a collab with Dream SMP members. This allows the share of subs to all channels. Why didn't you link your Hermitcraft server with others to give Hermits a opportunity to get more subs and views? To give Hermitcraft a better boost, says Funny Mango. You know, tend not to think about things like that. It's not really just like, oh, how can I get subs and views? Like, here on Hermitcraft, we're all creating, like, content of value to all of you, I hope. So it's not just about chasing some sort of sub, view count, whatever. Like, we're in a position where most of us have done all that. We've done the audience building. And, you know, we've got people here who want to watch and are interested in what we're doing, so it's time to do it. Also, that Mr. Beast guy, right? I watched a podcast with him on H3. He's a decent guy. Like, I see people, like, sending hate towards him for some of the stuff that he does, and when you know, this is why I love watching podcasts and stuff, is because you realize that people are people and you learn a bit about their life story and why they do what they do, and you know, that guy seems like a stellar dude as well. Hermitcraft is one of the most popular SMPs at the moment anyway, says just Snipzo. Possibly, you know, I've been on YouTube for a long time and it always amazes me how you can just randomly stumble on a channel with 7 million subscribers doing Minecraft every now and then, and it's like, whoa, how have I not heard of this? But Dream was one of those for a long time, until probably like definitely the last few months, but maybe a little bit earlier, maybe like 5 months ago, sort of the time I became aware of this guy, mainly through all of y'all just commenting like about their community. But yeah, you know, YouTube's a really big place, so even though we pull in some viewers, I wouldn't be surprised if there are all kinds of big Minecraft communities that are just not aware of, because, you know, you can't spend all day searching YouTube for stuff, right? Brrr, brrr, brains! Okay, I do not have more leaves. We need more leaves. Do not leave if you are watching the stream. I'm just going to get leaves. No, don't help me by leaving. That's not how this works. Hi, X, I'm from Joe's stream, says Shell. Welcome. Do we get raided by Joe? I don't have a raid on my screen. X, you can't spend all day watching Minecraft YouTube, says B. Williams. That's what I said, wasn't it? That's what I said, I believe. I believe. Yeah, there we go. That's more than enough, right? Haha, never heard of Sumer imitate a zombie ever, says Michael Stickle. Yeah, I don't know if I've really done that before, right? I don't know, I just felt like doing it right then. I literally saw your first 10 Season 7 episodes in which you mentioned making paths and leafing the jungle, says KIJ. Yeah, I laid down my plans. I literally thought I would spend my time putting leaves in every single block down here, but again, there's a point where you realise that's not particularly a good use of my time. And so you focus more on the projects themselves. Otherwise it'd be too much grinding. You know, you need grinding to make big stuff work, but you've got to balance it. Why do you say rotted flesh? Says Fashneck. Mate, have you got some water? Because I've just seen some rotted flesh and it's given me a horrible smell. Yo, have you considered doing a new review on... Oh, I thought you said new review on a Nusha Bears album. Like, there's no new Nusha Bears. That's not possible. Let's get a few logs in here just so it feels a little bit more authentic. I find throwing down a few logs also going to like prompt you to put some blocks in at higher spots as well. Oh, look at this. I needed a tiny amount to finish this off. And here I am doing a gigantic amount. That was a great stress monster impression. It's also the way I talk. I'm just exaggerating a bit, right? Water, mate. Like, it's just part of being British. We just say things in particular ways, you know? Okay, there we go. That's kind of it. Oh, that being said, things are going to drop down from up there, aren't they? Yeah, we did a little bit of clearing this way, so that'll need taking care of. And we don't want things spawning here. I just realised that my music's, like, too low for me to hear in my eardrum. Which is kind of criminal. Let's just hide that. In fact, you know what? I can just fill this in, actually. There you go. There you go. Oh, that does not need to be there. Right, that is good. I think we just tidied up everything. Everything possible. So the next stage is building. We'll probably just do the cyan and... No, we'll do cyan and slabs and we'll try and do all of it, I guess. Okay, so I'm no longer going to need some of these tools, therefore I'm going to put them away. Maximize inventory space for building. These are also basically in the way, aren't they? I could actually... No, that'll be fine, that'll be fine. Gotta keep it all simple. Right, and where is our sun in the sky? So we've got a little bit of time. Everyone's questioning Asuma like he's some all-knowing god, says Kaima Nama. Are they? I'm not some all-knowing god. I think they're just asking me questions. X, I think replay is on. It's not, we're good. We need that block. Okay, so we're going to come out here. Is there enough room there to kind of... I think there is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it looks like we need like an extra 1. All the way down to that corner, then turn. Yeah, we got it. We got it. The rest is good. Do I prefer vanilla or modded, says Caveman? I think you know the answer to that. You know, because I spend all this time making, you know, modded episodes and streaming modded. When was the last time I ever streamed vanilla? Jeez, must have been a while ago. We got Nakue Dragon here for 8 months. You're celebrating New Year's tonight because you have to work. Happy New Year. That's a few days in advance, but yeah, okay. Thank you so much. Bagheera84 with 3 months saying X to the A. That's me. Decrypt is here for 13 months. Thank you so much. The Last Psycho here for 39 months. Do appreciate the support, peeps. While we're waiting for the sun to set so we can start this one off good for the time lapse, the thing we're going to do after this is possibly a little bit of decorating there, but maybe not. I need to finish the drowned farm, And I just kind of left it, and because I had no reason to use it, I never felt motivated to do this, but I've just been taking pride in the base a little lately, and so I kind of want to come over here. Ugh! So close. Oh, jeez, we're in. So we'll have like a landing bay like we always do, and then it'll probably be closed in. I don't really feel like there's a way to incorporate what we got here and make this like a marvel of any kind. I could also possibly raise this up to meet what we build above. I don't think there's... Oh no, there's a perfect AFK spot right here. So we'll have to come down to this as if it's a room. Also, if I remember correctly, this thing has some flaws. And because Cub's online, we're probably not going to get any drowns. But when they come up here... I can't remember what it was. Hopefully I can fix it without having to do too much. Looking at the arrangement of the hoppers, they're going to kind of be unavoidable. So we'll probably end up filling in some space around here and maybe having it go out to the side. Build a frame at the front that would be very close to. So the room here will probably push back in this direction a little bit. You really don't want to fall down there. Maybe a staircase? Probably not though, because we're probably going to have a landing bay. So we'll have a landing bay in this space, then we'll have up and down with soul sand and magma going into a contained little room. Maybe with this big space we could then put like a big drowned face in front of us using blocks. I think we could do something cool with this space. Dang. I like that. Mucky Rat, thank you for the prime. Michael Stickle here with Cheers and Bits saying, do you know that what you are going to say in your videos? Do you plan that little bit or just wing it? It's like, you know, you're trying to express what you want to say. So if you're referring to the bit where I left in the edit, basically I played it back and I thought, I kind of need to say a little bit more here, so I just went and did it again. Because I tend to edit as I go, so between a lot of cuts I'm editing. And, you know, I might waffle a bit, so I'll cut it off, and then when I start recording again, I'll just say what I need to say a little bit tighter. Basically, I'm constantly like expressing what I'm thinking and what I'm planning on doing, but I also try and do that in a way that's more interesting. So I'm not just standing and talking in a spot like I do on a live stream, or you know, like not really doing much. I try and keep it all flowing. We got It's Viper here with the Prime and Aegesis here with a donation saying that SMP I'm on doesn't have any jungles within a reasonable distance and I need to get vines. Do you have any suggestions? Yeah, maybe look up vines on the wiki and see where else they generate. Off the top of my head, jungles might be the one place they generate. Don't they sometimes generate... Swamps. Yeah, people are saying swamps. There you go. But thank you ever so much for the donation. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream. And, you know, chat's helping you out. You can get them from swamps as well. Oak forests in Bedrock apparently have them. Wandering traders can give you vines. Wow. I think that's one of the things they said about what the wandering trader would trade, was things that were rather particular to biomes, and that's the first time I think I've ever thought of a wandering trader actually being useful. Let's go build a path, peeps. Let's go build a path. So we're going to need... Let's take that. Okay, there we go. Don't think we're going to need more than that. And now you can see we are well and truly equipped to build the path. I was about to start doing this and I realised no camera account. That would have been horrendous. Time-lapse, hashtag time-lapse ruined. Opinion on The Boys Season 2 on Amazon. Haven't seen it. I'm looking for something new to watch though. You just reminded me that I bookmarked that Jack Ryan show. I like The Office, and the actor is from that show, and I thought I'd give it a shot, see what it's about, see if I like it, you know. Oh, Sane Bov. You haven't watched a stream before, but you like it. Well, welcome to the stream, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. Streams are cool. They're fun. I don't really watch a lot of streams, but they're definitely cool when you first check them out, you know, interesting. I think the reason I don't like watching streams too much is because they're very casual and hangouty. And most of the time I'm geared towards, like, this video I'm about to watch better teach me something. I tend to watch, like, things that stimulate my interest. I imagine there's people, like, on Twitch waffling and talking about, I don't know, whatever topic happens to interest me. Tesla, cryptocurrency, I don't know. That's what I tend to end watching whenever I have a moment, just to, like, watch a video while I'm eating. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and then we're there. But isn't it what your streams are like, though, says Devil Hunter? Yep. Yep, I mean, like I've said it so many times, like, I don't really consider myself a gamer, but here I am in the world of gaming, and I'm not really into streaming, like watching other people stream, but here I am doing streams myself. It's just funny like that, you know? I find it really fun to stream, not so much to watch, that's just me. Okay. Do you watch Nile Red? Not heard of Nile Red. Cold Fusion is a channel that I've watched in the past and been watching a few of their videos about cryptocurrency and stuff. It's interesting what's happening with cryptocurrency. Oh. Yep, that'll happen. That'll happen, you know. You turn your back for 1 minute and you're building the path in the wrong direction. Very typical. Very predictable. It's the one thing you could have counted on me to do. Have you heard of Tom Scott? Oh yes, been watching Tom Scott for years. Years. And years. Do you watch animated shows and movies? Not very often. Not very often is what I watch a cartoon. What's this path for, says the Frost Creator? It's to connect things together. I do feel, though, like this path deserves another tower somewhere along the way, so I need an excuse to build a tower in the near future. Look up Journey to the Microcosm, it's a good channel. Hey, if ever you want to recommend me something, just tweet it my way. By the way, we've got to fill in all these spaces over here. Like, this has got to get grassified. Grassified? No, jungleified. That's the one. How are you pulling up more blocks out of my inventory without opening it up? I press middle click to use the pick block button. Agasis is here with 7 months of subscribing, saying, just found vines on the Pillager Outpost. Oh, wow. 100 blocks from my base. Oh, it's like next door. It's just how it goes, isn't it? Yeah, Pillager Outpost. Didn't realise vines could grow there, but there you go. You learn something every day. Even when you've been playing this game for 10 years. Almost 10. It's more like 9. Well, that's not good. That is no good at all. What content was X making before Hermitcraft? I was making Minecraft tutorials, and I just started my Let's Play as well. My Let's Play series, which is what, you know, what Hermitcraft is. We called it Let's Play then. It's not really a term used anymore. Some people might still refer to episodes of Hermitcraft as Let's Play, but that's kind of what it was called then. And that was interesting. I, you know, watched other people do LPs, wanted to give it a shot myself, and not long after I got invited to Hermitcraft. EFO does. Yeah, that's a good point. EFO still calls it the Let's Play, right? And actively, not just in the title. Kate Wens is here with the Prime. Thank you so much. Appreciate the support. Hope you're enjoying the stream. It's almost like the name of the series in a way, isn't it? Oh, look at this. We need more. Ooh, we're going to run out of this fast, I tell you. We're going to run out of these fast. Let's play a good way of defining it, though. Yeah, it's, I don't know, like, I feel like there could be a more evolved term for what it's like nowadays, but Let's Play is essentially a way to say, let's play this game. And it's from the very origins of people uploading gameplay footage, which, you know, is now just this really common thing, but it went through its period, you know, over 10 years ago of, like, kind of being this unexplored, and now that you can upload video to YouTube, people can share themselves playing games. It was probably a bit novel, and probably not a lot of people saw potential in it, but then when the creative games come along, and all of a sudden it's like, now you got more of a sandbox to create unique stuff inside of the game. Feels like less of a let's play and more of a let's create. And, you know, maybe there's a term that could sort of encompass both of those things. Ancient YouTube, says Mickle. Yeah. I mean, YouTube was and felt like a different place some years ago, you know? There was very different type of content. There was a period when I started where you could get away with, like, making very low effort content. When I was making my Let's Play and the first, you know, couple of series of Hermitcraft, there was like this long stretch of people who just didn't edit and just uploaded unedited footage and would get millions of views, but a lot of those channels died out, funny enough. You know, some managed to transform and stick around, but the landscape has certainly changed, you know. I feel like I always had my foot in the sort of territory that we're in now, the kind of, exploring what's possible and doing things a little bit more extravagant. You know, from the beginning of my Let's Play, there was always cuts and progress. I didn't ever just, you know, play Minecraft for 20 minutes straight and call it an episode. There have been a couple of things like that, actually. Collaborative episodes can occasionally end up being more like that. We got Shawnee YX, or YYX even, here for 23 months. Almost 2021. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, dude. I'm doing alright. It is indeed almost 2021. And we got, oh jeez, dude, a mega sub bomb. I'm in the middle of a time lapse, my man, so I'll have to read it out in a minute. But thank you so much for the generosity, gifting the subs, supporting the community. It is appreciated. Is it getting dark? It's getting dark because there's things above my head. There's things above my head and it ain't sunlight. But yeah, we'll read those names out. I just want to focus very much on completing this, as we are in the middle of doing the last bits of it. Alright. X is trapped inside a time and space anomaly known as the replay mod. I kind of am, in a way. Well, you know, when it's replay mod, it's like do not disturb. Will you do a best if this year? I would love that. What do you mean a best if this year? I don't know what that means. Do you mean a best of? I mean, I got the best of, or like, yeah, it's called the best of, right? Season 7 episodes over on the second channel, if ever you want to get like a oh. Actually, this is supposed to be like a bridge, so we're not going to do that right now. I kind of forgot that. That's supposed to not get filled in. That's supposed to be a fanciful design right there. Damn, these paths, you know, they have a lot of work attached to them. It ain't simple sailing around here. I think that actually goes back by one, so that will go there. Oh, whoopsie doopsie. I did an oopsie twice there. Okay, I think we'll probably call that the end of the path. And I'm out of stair blocks, so we'll call that the end of the time lapse. Yes, we will. And I think I will be happy with those files for creating a replay. I don't think I'll add too much more. Hey X, as always, great to catch a stream. Brightening my day as always. UK COVID situation got me feeling down. Looking forward to the vaccine being rolled out. What do you think? Do you think we'll be back to normal once people are a certain age are vaccinated, or will we have to wait until everyone is? It's bacon schnaps. It'll take a long time. Don't count on everything that we're going through being over anytime soon, right? These things will take time. And you know, that being said, the fact that we've been able to get a vaccine together in such a short amount of time. Shawnee again! Oh my goodness me. Thank you, dude. The generosity is appreciated. Oh, don't tell me that doesn't line up. No, it does, doesn't it? For some reason, I think... Oh. It doesn't line up. Oh, that's the worst thing ever. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, the anger. Oh, the anger. Why isn't it lined up? I've made an assumption. Oh, no. Oh, no. I got to rebuild a load of it. Oh. Oh. Jeez, I'm feeling angry now. Angry, hangry. Dang! Don't worry, it's not too painful, because it's only out by 1 block. Just Thou, thank you ever so much for subscribing. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream. It's only out by 1 block. We can fix this. It's alright. It's alright. We'll fix it up. Guess I need some of my tools. Also, I need to make... Oh, did I use all of it up on the... Yep, I used it all up on that, so I can't make it into... Gotta go find some more quartz, peeps. Gotta go find some more quartz. Ah, we were about to say something, and I forgot what it was. Hey, found some more quartz. I'll take that box with me, actually. That's good. Right, let's read those noises in that eardrum. There was an eardrum, there was some noises, things happened. Shawnee, thank you ever so much for the gifting of the subs, dude. Let's try and read all of these out. We got Mahataka Maskai, Tripolisk, Lipka, Nate, DXR, Stevie L001, K Schlott, Beck the Geek, or Beck the Geck even, Naragon 9412, Crescent Panda, The Nerdy Kidden, Zarzar, Manaro Zero, Ubi Samson, Fabski, Anime Kitty, Juggalo 00, Nine New Pooch, Active J Gamma, Rozzy, Stedge MR1, Hell Beglin, Groovy Dylan, Fascination 9, Waldo and Friends, Salima Curry 99, Aristotle Beta, Sarah Campbell, Mason W2001, B Brian Gaming, and the Gran Topher, and also Vanguard Order. All been gifted subs, thanks to Shawnee. Thank you so much for supporting our community, dude. We're going to do a little bit of a break. Not really a break, just a plug. I got 4 channels on YouTube. The second channel is where these live streams go and Minecraft news. The third channel is the Asuma Sedge channel, where little clips of me talking about stuff end up if ever you want to hear my thoughts and opinions on things. And if you like music, check out my 4th channel, where I talk about music and review albums and stuff like that. Please do take the time to check them out if you haven't done so already. And that is me doing my plug. Also, another plug, you can go to my website, asumavoid.com, and you can sign up for our mailing list if you would like some weekly emails just telling you everything that I've been doing on the internet that week. So you might miss a video, you might miss a blog post or something like that, and hey, you can keep up to date that way. Drew Dude says, love the music channel. Glad you do, man. I am really wanting to work on that channel. Right, I got sent a thing for Google Ads that they'd match me like a bunch of money that I spend on it, right? And so basically you get double for a while. and I cannot get any ad campaign on there to work. I thought, you know, I'd do a little experiment, throw a bit of money at it, see if I can use those ads to promote my music channel. And no, not having any luck with it so far. But ugh, I said I would need some tools, didn't I? Anyway, that's a whole other story right there. What were we talking about a minute ago? Will you ever publish your own music? But I have published my own music, and I probably will again in the future, since I want to get back into doing it. In fact, on my music channel, okay, this is a great reason to go check out the music channel. The very first video on that channel is me talking about my very first record that I made, and also a link to listen to it, a link to stream it, all that stuff's in there. Like, you can download it for free, you can listen to it on Bandcamp with the streaming. You were talking about a vaccine, but I don't remember the original question. Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit, weren't we? Yeah, so like, you know, the vaccine has to reach a lot of people to work. It's also been done in... That's what I was saying. Basically, it's been done in such a short amount of time that, you know, we could end up rolling it out in a short amount of time. The last time we had to deal with something like this, urgent mass vaccination, I mean, have we ever had anything quite comparable? You know, we might... There's a lot of chaos going on, there's a lot of opinions, there's definitely people suffering and short ends of the stick that can be drawn, but in some other metrics we might look back at this moment and go, goodness me, we had the technology to deal with this, you know? Because if we've got this thing rolled out in... Ah! Bummer. Wrong one. If we get this... Wait a minute, it's already the wrong one. Oh! No, wait, what? It's not. It's not smelted. Now I understand. Now I understand. If we get this thing like rolled out, and let's say in a year we're like, okay, it's dealt with, then oh my goodness me. Then, you know, we'd be looking back on it and going, that was well done, you know. But we have, you know, eliminated smallpox, right? Was it smallpox the one that's been entirely eliminated thanks to vaccinations and whatnot? The Spanish flu, I'm not really sure. Oh, the history, you see. I learn a lot, and I love watching things about stuff. Wow, so articulate. But I'm not very good at remembering the details a lot of the time. And the details are important. But hey, the big things, you know, that I heard lately that have really been interesting. You hear talk of herd immunity from time to time. Nothing's ever been done through herd immunity. Like, we have not ever got rid of something through herd immunity. We're too big, we're too many people, we can't all manufacture sickness all at once. And also that's pretty grim because that includes killing people. You know, we are going to need something like a vaccine to get us through this. The logistics of herd immunity, you know, just won't work. And we're talking about natural herd immunity because there is the term herd immunity for how vaccines work, right? Like, vaccines do not need to reach every single person. If you think of connections between people, like if you imagine there's 100 people in a room, there's loads of connections bouncing around. But if 90% of the people have got the vaccine, it's like a blocker. So those two people on the opposite side of the room or whatever, like, they have less chance of spreading it. And so herd immunity is a term that applies to vaccinations as well. That like, if you look at the numbers of how many people it's run through the population, it's nowhere near herd immunity, right? And also, we don't know if this thing's going to mutate and then people get reinfected or whatever. You'd think by now, though, there might be some information on that. I don't know if there is or there isn't. There might be some information on people getting reinfected and having it twice, which is obviously pretty grim. What am I keep like turning around and then I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm looking for leaves. I'm looking for leaves right now. Oh, by the way, this song's great. I had COVID twice. I'm good with never getting it again, says JLH Composer. Interesting, you've had it twice. That is rough. Yeah, so if we're capable of getting it multiple times, then that's really going to make herd immunity difficult. And this vaccination, I don't think there's much information on how long it will last. Like, if it lasts a year, it might be a bit of a struggle to get it around enough people so it stops spreading. Hasn't it already mutated, says Winzig? It's probably mutated thousands and thousands of times, but some of those mutations will be rather insignificant. But there's currently like a new mutation here in the UK that's spreading quicker. And so this is one of the problems again with people not wanting to wear masks and you know, thinking ideas like herd immunity are good because and spreading it, you know, like you have a chickenpox party for kids or whatever. I still don't know if that's actually a good practice or not, but essentially, you know, you're giving COVID a chance to mutate every time it spreads from one person to another, and it can mutate to a more infectious or more deadly, or sometimes less. Maybe it's mutated a bunch of times to, you know, a wimpy COVID that just dies out or whatever. This is why understanding how this stuff works is really important. Education, there's no simple answers to this stuff. There really isn't. So we're shifting this all over by one block in this direction next. And then we're going to go around and fix up trees and do all the bits in between that we do for these path projects. Okay, and I don't have an axe. Let's go get an axe. We've got to sort some trees out. I think this tree here is going to go. This one's doing the off. It's like saying DNA mutates when you get a kid. Like, yes, but it's still a human. Yeah, totally. Like, you know, the offspring is a combination of the DNA of the parents. It's kind of like that, you know. You have a slight mutation in there. In general, viruses tend to get less severe and more infectious as they mutate, says Latin. Oh, interesting. I was not aware they had a trend in which mutations would... I actually have a friend who's got it right now. I found out today, and it was really heartbreaking to hear, because I've known people that are adjacent to friends or family, and someone who, you know, went to work with someone who had it, and I've had a lot of that. I've had a lot of oh, it's here, it's there. Oh, they got it, you know, and now it's one of my mates from, you know, from way back when, who I've known for decades, has got it. Yeah, and it's it's shocking, man. It just feels a little bit more real, and then, you know, when it's someone in the family, it will feel even more real, right? But obviously, you don't think it's not real. It's just going to hit you in a different way when it's someone close to you or whatever. So yeah, I'm worried for them. What are we doing? We're going to sleep in a bed. I think I came back for a shovel. I just lost track of what I was doing again. A virus gets less extreme once many people die from it, due to the virus losing a place to stay. Not sure I understood exactly what you said, but if I think I understood what you're saying, perhaps, I don't know, does it affect, it gets, air quotes, rid of people that are more susceptible to it? That sounds a bit odd, because there's so many people it can go through, vast populations. Evolution goes towards not killing the host, says Latin. Right, because if you kill the host, you reduce your chances of spreading in a way. So if you're highly deadly and not very infectious, the lifespan of the virus tends to be shorter, right? So that makes sense. So if you become less deadly and more contagious, then you're sort of spreading your seed kind of thing, right? Yeah, I think I get the logic behind that. You know, that should always be backed up with some data, though, I think. I don't know if that's oh, are these ones that I want to keep, or... No, they're the ones I want to keep. Oh, no, look, here you go. See, there's 2 trees here. And I kind of didn't want to cut off one of one, but I think I did a bit. Yeah, what am I trying to say? You should... it's good in the form of a theory, but you need data to back it up as well. I'm not saying there isn't data, I just have no clue. You know, I've become increasingly aware the more that I talk about stuff, how anyone can talk about, oh, I like movies and art. Like, that's a place for anyone. But when you start to talk about science, it's really important to, you know, either get it right or kind of express your ignorance at the same time, in my opinion. Because everyone should have a right to talk about all sorts of topics. But we also got to know where we don't know what we're talking about. So although I've spent a lot of time listening to podcasts with virologists and whatnot, and epidemiologists, and watching all those educational videos on YouTube that I love, like, I'm not really that great at reciting it and remembering it well. Rebecca says, educate yourself and listening is the key. Yeah, you got to educate yourself from the right place though, right? There's bad ideas you can educate yourself with, and it can be hard to know if you're listening to the right or wrong stuff. I tend to, like, try and use your heart as a compass with a lot of stuff, you know. If you're listening to someone talking about some edgy ideas like herd immunity and let it run through the community and kill a bunch of people, it's like, it's not a very compassionate viewpoint, not a compassionate stance to take, really, is it? And a little compassion can go a long way. Don't listen to Trump. Don't drink disinfectant. Oh, God. I mean, that guy just says sometimes whatever's rattling off the top of his head and it don't sound good. X, the music is too loud, says Chief. I'm going to leave it exactly where it is. Because I love this music. It's good. I like it. And it's, you know, kind of like where it normally is. The Tide Pod Challenge, yes. The Tide Pod Challenge. There's another act of general stupidity. How did that ever become a thing? Sugar Loaf Surge says, Corona isn't political. Wear masks and don't be stupid. You know, politics can kind of like force itself into any situation in a weird way, but you don't have to make it political. Like, when I'm talking about this stuff, I ain't talking about left and right and politicians. Like, I'm talking about a virus and what we know about it through our studies, our science. What did I come back here for again? I'm the worst. Jeez, I needed more slabs, maybe? I ain't got a clue. I'm just like, oh yeah, go over here. And then it's like, oh, what? RJ the Wizard says, stop talking about politics, please. I've literally just said how... Oh, that... I did... No, wait, I probably did come back for stairs and it's here. I've literally just expressed how what I'm talking about isn't political. It's not political. Just talking about what's happening with, you know, this virus. Wear a mask to protect others, says one, hee. It also protects yourself to wear a mask. It's, you know, incredibly slim, but, you know, droplets and whatnot can potentially land on the outside of your mask and not go into your mouth. I think I came back for dirt to fill in that little bit of space, and I probably already had dirt. No, I didn't. Oh well. But there's also some weird mathematics. Maths can be pretty, like, complex and tricky sometimes, but there's some maths that suggests that just by, like, when people wear masks in group, like, it lowers risk in a way that kind of multiplies, and therefore by participating in the act of wearing a mask you also reduce the risk for yourself. It's maths that I couldn't really quite get my head around. I think ASAP Science might have covered it. It was really interesting. Digit says, but wearing a mask is really bad for your health. When I hear that, I usually think, well, how is it that we didn't say that before? Like, why is it that no one was ringing the alarm bells about masks when surgeons were using them, and when people on construction sites were wearing masks and protecting them, and, you know, people in Asian countries have been wearing masks for a long time, having to deal with these things before in the past. So, you know, is it bad for your health? Some people have health issues that wearing a mask can be an inconvenience or an exaggeration, and there is some discomfort to wearing them as well. Whenever I've had to wear it on extended periods of time, like maybe I've been in the shop for a little longer than usual, and it does make breathing a little bit heavy, but it's not too difficult, and you know, you're doing it for, you know, a certain amount of time. I imagine there's maybe some jobs, and if you had to wear them for all day long, where yeah, it probably would become rather irritating and an inconvenience, but I mean, it's a bit of cloth in front of where you're breathing at the end of the day. So, I mean, that's it really. I wear a mask for 8 to 9 hours at work and have no problems whatsoever, says Hykinator. I imagine though that you're accustomed to wearing it for long periods of time. When I wear it and I get a little bit discomforted after maybe like 45 minutes, it's because I hardly ever have to wear it. I work from home. If I had to wear it more often, I'd probably get used to it as well. Okay, let's go grab jungle logs is what I want next. Got to manipulate those jungle trees. We got noises in the ear from Cyram93 with the Prime. Marilyn Miners here with some cheers and bits. Merry Christmas and all the best for a happy, healthy New Year. Thank you so much, Marilyn. Appreciate the support. M.A. Barack says, to those that hate wearing a mask, we should go back without and take a look at the Spanish flu that plagued the world in 1918. Back when the Spanish flu happened, people did wear masks. Masks was one of the ways in which they thought against it, and guess what? Back then there were people who didn't want to wear masks as well. They say that history repeats itself, and in the Spanish flu, many of the things happening today happened then as well, you know? People don't like being told what to do, I can understand that, but I think like, you know, you can make the issue about that, but trying to pretend it's about something else doesn't really make much sense, you know. Not to me, anyway. Okay, so we've got 2 there. Okay, and I think what we'll do at the front here is go 1 there, just to keep it interesting. And then do something similar a little bit higher. Right, we got noises in the air from Hella Classified here for 9 months. Thank you so much. Appreciate the support. We got Please Just Breathe here for 4 months. Rebecca gifting a sub to Kamari Volta. Thank you ever so much, Rebecca, as always, for those gifted subs. We got Easton MD here with a Prime, and J3 NS90 here with some cheers and bits. Thank you so much for years of quality content. Thank you for the lovely message, dude. I'm glad you're enjoying the content we create. I mean, I assume... Assumptions, X. Don't assume. I'm assuming you're enjoying it. Oh, I bloody hate your content, but you know what? It's alright. I'm not enjoying it, but it's alright. Yeah. Oh, that looks better, actually. Let's just go put that there. Yeah, that looks like the way to do it. Cool. And we'll continue our adventure. Actually, let's go sleep. We've gone back and forth here so many times, it's redonkulous. It's redonkulous! We got a noise in the ear from Bradius, YT, here with the Prime, and Peterson, ES, with the Prime as well. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. God, I wish pseudoscience wasn't prominent or ever existed. It's the kind of reason that people don't wear masks, because they think vibrations will prevent them from getting it, says Sugar of Loaf of Surge. Well, I think you got to take the sugar with the salt sometimes, right? Like pseudoscience is in a way sort of science done wrong or whatever, but it's part of the process, really, in a way. Like, science got better with time because we figured out how to do science better. There's stuff from the past that was once scientific truth that we wouldn't agree on today. I think the best thing is to try and just educate people or point them in the direction of things that can explain like what is pseudoscience and how to spot it. I've certainly probably fallen for some pseudoscience-y type things before, you know. Sometimes stuff sounds really logical, especially when it's put through the lens of science and reason, but not all reasoning is great, I guess. Okay, and there we go, and we need a little bit round the back. This is the kind of care we put into the base, you know, every little detail done. Read the statistics. This is nowhere near the Spanish flu. Oh wait, okay, that one went off the screen. Yeah, what we're dealing with today might not be anywhere near the scale of the Spanish flu. Everything is particular to the situation, right? But one of the most important things to always remember when you're dealing with statistics or any kind of situation like we're in now is that we're actively influencing everything, right? So if something happens, like we have a viral outbreak, and we do absolutely nothing, we may end up with numbers that look really bad. Oh my god, we didn't do anything, like, look how bad this is. If we take measures and actions to prevent something, then the numbers might look like, oh my god, what were we panicking about? But the fact that we took action influences the outcome, so you've got to weigh that into the perspective. And everyone's going to land with a slightly different opinion. You know, I think it was this, I think it was that, but ultimately, it's probably better to err on the side of precaution, right? Unfortunately, statistics can be manipulated to say what you want, says Araya. That's very true as well. It's a tricky thing, you know, are the statistics that you're looking at, are they neutral, or has someone sort of shaped them in a way to suit what they want to say? If the Spanish flu happened now, its numbers would be very different than they were back then. Really great point, actually, another JT. Like, if we make comparisons between the two, those comparisons should hopefully give us tools or useful information to help us with what we're doing right now. Because if it happened right now, we all know that 1918's technology in medicine and many other things would make it very different from how it plays out today. One thing to say though, we're more interconnected as a planet than we were out there back then, so it might even mean it could actually be more effective in today's environment, or it could be worse because we've got all this medicine. There's so many ways of looking at it. Peeps, I'm going to do something a little interesting. Okay, I was kind of thinking, like, I really want to edit those time lapses while they're fresh in my mind. So you're looking at a blank screen right now, and this is one of the features of my live streams, okay? People come here going, I want to be entertained, and I'm like, you do not understand the power of a black screen. Fill it in with your imagination. You're now watching the best Minecraft show on the planet, my friends. Just imagine what it looks like. Oh, that Minecrafting action, it's so good right now. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Time-lapse editing time, says Maurice. Yeah, well, it's in the back of my mind that I kind of like every day want to chip away at the episode that I'm making, and I'm not going to have time this evening or probably tomorrow to do anything. So I thought, well, actually, you know, there's not much left to do on the path. I can kind of clear it up, although we've got the bridge. Let's go into the replay viewer. So we got these. This is path part 1, path 2 cut short. Part 3, just can't make up my mind. Placing roads, that's easy to understand. I thought the first one was the one to cut short, but anyway, I guess you guys can hang out with me and see how it's all done, right? IC says, what are some of your hobbies? Well, you know, making YouTube videos, playing Minecraft, playing guitar, making music, that's me. So we'll pause it about here and chuck in the beginning. Now, a lot of the time lapses I do are way easier to edit than this one will be. Now we've got 4 clips. I'm going to aim for 24 seconds on each. Then together they'll make up over a minute, but I'll probably trim it down. Maybe I want 2 minutes to trim down. Now we're probably good with about 24 seconds for each clip, I think. That being said, the later clips are a bit longer. Let's go with 20 for this one, and the others will be 24, and it will probably scale up pretty well that way. So, excuse me, burping over here. Got that salad digesting in my belly. So then what we'll do is we'll put the end. Okay, I'm supposed to check first, right? 6:24. So then we go over here and we make it 6:23. Because I don't know how many milliseconds there are. And we don't need it to be exact. Maybe speed it up a bit. Play. So we're going to get a feel for when I turn the corner first of all. Which is not yet. Wow, there's not a lot going on in this first clip really. This will probably get sped up big time. Okay, so considering I don't really turn corner to about 15 seconds, this is a very short clip. I'm starting to wonder why it's so short. Oh no, wait. No, I got the timescale. Wait. Ah, look, that's odd. That's not accurate, is it? It's going past. Oh, that's not very good. So now we're probably like at the halfway point. Right, okay, so 20 seconds. We need a starting camera position. We're going to put it out here. 10 seconds in, we're going to be sort of floating into this space. And I think we're going to have to dodge these vines, really. And then maybe a bit more of a slower cut, but we come round kind of down here. See how it plays out, peeps. So we've got vines in the camera straight away. Let's go back to that original shot. Lower it down a little bit. We should be under the vines. Let's play. Right, look at that. They come close, but they're just to the side enough that I'll allow it. Then here, really slows down, but that's okay. Although there's not much going on the screen right now, is there? Probably not worth keeping that last bit. In which case, I think what I'm going to do is speed up the last camera turn. So we'll play it again. So we've got to think about like how interesting is what we're looking at. So it's kind of like there's action, things are happening. Take out those bushes. You can see it goes around the corner. Then it's kind of dead around here. So somewhere around the 15-second mark, we will cut that video. But for now, we can render that because I can do that bit in the next stage. You know, Replay Mod is a tool, and your editing software is a tool. And what you've got to realize is that, you know, like in that situation, I can just cut the video short later on. So you always think about what's possible elsewhere. Like sometimes something might appear on the edge of the screen, and you don't really want to change a bunch of edits, and you can go to your editor and maybe crop the image. There's all sorts of tools at your disposal to make the end product. So you got to kind of like get the end product in your head. Oh, this is how the magic happens. Not seen this editor before, says Scott's lad. Yeah, welcome to the Replay Mod. Welcome to the Replay Mod. Maybe just camp out in the corner and rotate the camera instead of moving it back and forth. M.A. Barak, that's probably a better shot. That'll probably be a better shot. But I'm going to stick with what I got. You know, it takes a bit of time to edit these, although it's only taken us a couple of minutes for this first one, but maybe we'll come back and do a second one of that later on, you know? So we'll exit the replay and then go into the next one. Over here. Now this one was supposed to cut short, so let's pause. Oh, that's weird. It put us here, whereas the last one put us somewhere else. I think. Okay, maybe we'll try like an aerial shot for this. That'll probably make it easy. So let's put in that, and we know we're cutting it short, but why? I think it's because the path we have gets cut short. Now the last one we did about 20 seconds, but ended up being about 15. I'm going to go for 24 again, actually. So let's say we go for like 10 minutes here. And then I'll snap to that time in the timeline. I think it's doing it. I think it's loading. Okay, so that's what it looks like at 10 minutes. And there's loads of vines in the way, and we go way too far in this direction. But I can make that work. So let's say we just hover up here. Kind of want to get more of a tilted angle. Let's go here. Then over the course of 10 seconds, we're going to shuffle down and around to kind of this view, I think. In which case I'm actually going to go back, remove that, and then just do that again. Okay, so then we're going to be there, and then we're going to go down and along and hope that that just kind of lines up well. So actually to about there that I think we then stop, so hopefully we can time that. That's good. Probably need to... they don't really clip with the leaves, so we can definitely have that run a little faster. And then I think we're kind of ending about there. So let's go ahead and just change this to like 7 minutes and see how it plays out like that, because the pacing of the camera is pretty good. Bone and Player says this is boring. If it's boring, dude, don't watch. Pretty simple. You got the choice. And there you go. We're kind of a little closer to me, but I think that could be better, actually. So there's that moment where I sleep, and then as we start to speed up in here, it actually kind of needs to end about there. So I think we could probably nudge this down by a minute. So we'll put it on 6. And then this camera needs to get in there a little quicker, I think. So we'll do that. And now it should be pretty refined. So everything should be a little faster. In comes the camera right as we're building. Following me a little bit closer. Not crazy though. You can kind of see the action just there in the middle. And going through that vine is kind of probably not avoidable. Same for that one. Yeah, maybe actually I'll try and get rid of the vine. So here's a trick. Right, when you're playing like this... no, that's not the way to do it. Right, we want to put the timeline here and play from this point on the timeline, right? And we're going to wait until we hit our first vine. So here we are going through. We're going to allow that one, and then we're here. Pause. Okay, what I'm going to do is track the camera below the vine and put it there. I'm also now going to nudge it further on the timeline and hope that we get a bit more action with me in the shot. So camera's moving faster now. It comes in right on top of me. And actually that's looking pretty good now, because we're seeing more of what I'm doing, and we're closer to me. Going close to the ground. Kind of don't really want to go too close to the ground like that. But now we're underneath that vine. We clip it slightly, but I'll probably keep that. And that, I think, is pretty good. We'll take that as a clip. And there you go. That's how we do it. We got noises in the ear from Genius here for 8 months. You found the Ocarina is here subscribing. Blue Drive 99 is here for donation. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Have a healthy new year, everyone. Stay safe. Indeed, indeed. Thank you so much for the support. Hup Flupper is here for 11 months, and K-Dads is here for 37 months. Hope you have a nice January, taking a step back from the grind. Yeah, dude, I'm still going to be making videos and doing things sort of like normal. I'm just going to take a bit more time to do other stuff. I'm not going to have a break like I did last year. I kind of realised it's not really the time for that, because last year I could go do normal stuff. You know, I went on a skiing holiday. Probably went to a bunch of gigs, saw friends, you know, did this, did that, but like this year there's actually not much else to do. Just stay indoors, you know. I don't even go to the shops anymore. We're doing click and collect at the moment, so like it's literally just like being here. Being here all the time. Right. X in the replay. And then going into the next one. So this one we're not cutting short, and there's a little bit of night time. Now I believe, did we start this one over here? Am I? Oh, there I am, caught red-handed. Breaking leaves. Breaking leaves. Okay, now this one is definitely longer, so I think we'll go for like a 30-second cut on here, and we'll go 13:33, wasn't it? So we'll go like in here 32. Now we got the time lapse sort of ready to go. We'll start it off in here. Arif Erythililia. Erythililia. Oh, I'm butchering this name. Thank you for 13 months. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. An editing stream would be cool, says Rivermint. Well, due to the way that I edit, it wouldn't really make sense to stream it because it's like the edit happens like over several days at several points in the day. It's not something I can kind of just drop in and show you. That doesn't look right. Oh wait, I clicked the wrong button. That's why. Okay, yeah. Now we press that. Now we play at hyperspeed. So with this one, we probably want to just kind of do it a bit at a time. So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. We're gonna start probably about here. Although maybe it'd make more sense actually to start out here, right? Let's get this zoomed in a bit. So over the first 5 seconds, we're gonna whoosh in a straight line to about here. Okay, and let's see how that plays out. Oh, that looks great. You see me like stand there for a moment and look back at the camera. Now, one of the problems with that is that the camera needs to slow down because when you go over an open space, like this is longer me going through here. So I kind of know that now what we're going to have to do is sort of pinch the camera up to about this height and get it to about here. There we go. Then we have a bit of upwards mobility, and whoa, that went fast. Okay, so actually, I think we'll drag that back to about here, to this point in time. Now, then we gotta turn the camera in a tight space. This is always really difficult, and it kind of helps if you've got the next couple of points sort of in place. So let's check it out from the beginning. You know, as we get further into the edit, we'll do it from the beginning less, but here we go. Oh, see, look at that. It's doing a weird thing here, where it's like prepping us for the turn. And do you know what? Like, it's a bit stiff and you know what's going on, but I think we'll take it. I think we'll actually take that. Now, the changes in speed are going to look awkward, but, you know, sometimes it is just what it is. Oh, that's actually the end of it, right. That's going to make editing this rather interesting. Okay. Now, you do have the option to change the type. Except, double-click, there you go. So you can change the interpolation and make it do different things. We'll give it a little experiment of that, but... here we go. So... camera speeds up, not a crazy amount. Blitzing through here, pretty sharp turn. Maybe I can slow that turn down a little bit and pull this back about here and here, and then let's see what that's like. So now that's a lot smoother. And it drops in pretty nice. We're going to clip the vine. No, we don't quite clip the vine. Maybe if I just come back to this one. Okay, by the way, when you drag over, you're in the same position if you're there. So if I right click on it, move to the left slightly, then remove and replace, that camera point is now slightly over to the left. So it should go a little less closer to those vines. Essentially. So we turn the corner, we snip in, we're not as close to the vines, didn't make too much of a difference, but then we slow down big time, which is fine, and we get pretty close to me here, and then very close, but I think it just about works, and what I want to do is just drag that this way ever so slightly, and that will be the final touch. We'll render that out and it will be in the video. X, would you ever make a replay mod tutorial, says Huplupper? I believe there is one on my second channel where we did a live stream of me showing how to use it like this. Boss Ass Penguin says, I love seeing the making of the magic. It's really surprising how much time goes into 1 minute of footage. Yeah, dude, I'll tell you, this is easy. Some of the ones I did earlier in the stream, man. Earlier in the season, like, there was, like, calculations going in. Like, I was using fixed positions of cameras and doing, like, rotations. Some of you have seen it where, like, as we go around the creeper tower, I think it was, like the camera turns upside down. Some of that stuff like required calculation and like maybe like an hour of editing at least an hour of editing to put the whole thing together. It probably spent 2 hours in replay mod doing that one time lapse. What is this music finish? LeMayo says Milku. Yeah, the artist is Finnish and the poetry being recited is, I can't really remember the specifics, but it's in Finnish, probably therefore by someone Finnish. But it's very esoteric, which I just love. What episode was that? Says Ada Radeja. It probably had the creeper towers on top. It might have been the one where X is hugging the creepers, or Bisuma is hugging the creepers, right? Love the dedication to the time lapses, says Egg. Yeah, they require some dedication. They're so fun though. Like it's really wonderful to do this. It's just like a whole different dimension that you can access when you do the replay mod. Okay, close that. Exit the replay. One left to do. Placing roads. This one will be rather tricky because it's everything you've just seen in one big take. And we started over here, didn't we? So let's put in this and just knock it back a little bit. Let's go with 5. Actually 4 probably. Okay, and so I'm going to give myself about 40 seconds on this cut. And we're looking at 10:50. There we go. Yeah, this is going to take a while to figure out this one, so we'll stay close to the ground. And we're probably going to immediately find ourselves out of sorts. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. Yeah, so immediately we're behind. And one of the things you want to try and do is keep like a lot of the action sort of in focus, which can be kind of tricky sometimes. So you really got to think about camera positions, and it makes it really difficult when you're moving the camera a lot and it's doing its interpolation and moving all over the place. Like we're going to go through, yeah, and then you have bits like that. It's really tricky to smooth it out. Let's start again. I wonder if we can do something from up in the sky actually, like, ooh, maybe we do it from up here. Like that'll be easier and it's like a totally different view. I've got an idea. Okay, we'll try and do it from up here actually. This will look totally different. So if I go down to about this height. Okay, and then we'll come across and in 10 seconds we're going to be like over here. And then in 20 seconds we're going to be like through this space. And I'm trying to keep it so all of the quartz will be like sort of visible. Yeah, that's probably going to look a lot better. Because now we can keep the action in frame and not have to worry too much about... Yeah, it's kind of getting pulled, the action's sort of pulled down to the bottom there. Bottom of the frame, you want to kind of keep it in the middle. It's back in the middle again. Now it's over this side, so... This is when I want to do something rather ambitious. This could go really wrong. I've got no idea how this is going to turn out, right? But you got to try stuff and just see what happens a lot of the time. Okay, here's another trick, by the way. Like I'm seeing this going wrong. So middle of that shot, right? When I say middle, between the 2 points on the timeline, pull it out to where you want it to be, and then put in another keyframe and try and get it feeling like it's sort of natural curve, if that makes sense. So now when we pull this across, you can feel that sudden change in pace a little bit, but that's okay. Kind of puts the camera in a bit of a better spot. And then here, okay, that is way too quick. How can we smooth that out a bit? So pace felt faster earlier on, so moving that back to about there should be fine. And let's say we just space these out. See what happens. Okay, so it speeds up a fair bit there actually, and then whoosh. Keeping that pace going, turning the corner. I think we're going to get away with it actually. And then somewhere around here, bam, we want to be at the end of that tunnel now. And it's cool to do stuff in an ambitious way. Now, is there an opening in the sky that we can just zip up out of, right? I think that could be pretty fun. Although, this area is kind of like... Oh, did I actually... No, I think I did place it where I wanted it to be. And then let's say we turn like that. Might be tricky to reinvent the original shot, but... Oof, we got a tree. Ah, we got trees in the way. Yeah, actually, that's not going to work because there's not too much on the ground to show. So let's go to here and delete the last two. Well, actually, let's just play it and see how it turned out. Like, Mad Humph. Best way to learn how to do this is just continuously practice and try. Hopefully, this live stream would have given you some like insight. You're mixing the timeline, and I'm doing very simple time edits because I only use one start and end. You can play around with the pace and move time about as well, which is kind of fun. Okay, so go back to that one. Then we're going to bring it out to about here, where we're going to turn that corner. What you want to try and do is turn a corner probably with 2 frames, because if you do it with 1, the turning will start like really early. So if you think about the pacing of the camera movement, you put them closer together and they have a similar sort of pace. Now we'll probably be out in the middle of this river looking over here by the end of this. Okay, there we go. So let's play it from going through the tunnel. And that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Right through the vines. Okay, so go back to that frame. This needs to be like here, I think. And then that one needs to be possibly there. And then I think as a whole, they both need to be further back. Let's try that. This is the way I learn. I'm watching all the clicks of the mouse, what they do and how it works. Never figured it out on my own. Yeah, I mean, if you got the mind for it, oh, that was too quick. You'll get it from watching. So it goes a bit close to that tree, but I think that's going to be inevitable to avoid those vines. Goofy Me, thank you for the Prime. Tioni79, thank you for the Prime as well. Appreciate it. And there we go. I think I'll take that. You know, it takes a lot of time to do this. I try not to aim for perfection, but you know, get that feeling of like, yeah, this conveys what's going on. Let's render that up. Peeps, that's going to be the end of my live stream today. My voice is knackered. I hope you've been entertained. Be sure to hit the follow button before you head out of here. And thank you to Satya Lenfear for the Prime subscription. Appreciate it. Let's see if there's a raid to be done. I want to say a massive thank you to all of my subscribers, resubscribers, the donators, the cheerers, everyone who is a Patreon. Thank you to all of you. And we're going to go raid Hypno, who's playing some Minecraft. Doing speedruns by the looks of it. That's it from me. Thank you, peeps. Take care. Bye-bye.